Okay, let's dive right into this explainer. We are unpacking a massive, truly fascinating archive of work today. We're looking at what happens when the historical, ground-level grit of the labor movement collides with the futuristic, high-speed frontier of artificial intelligence. Specifically, we're digging into the dossier of Nicholas Monts, an educator and systems architect who operates at a very, very rare intersection.
Imagine if a hiring manager, a professor, a union leader, or a future collaborator grabbed a cup of coffee and spent their entire weekend reading through this massive archive of reflections, frameworks, and projects. What exactly would their professional verdict be? Well, we're going to treat this present moment as a prologue to the 2030 economy and ask that simple but profound question: what does Nicholas Monts actually bring to the table? So here's our agenda for this briefing. 1. The rare intersectional leader. 2. Grounded in real labor. 3. Architecting the AI future. 4. The intention economy vision. And 5. The ultimate professional verdict.
Let's jump into Section 1, the rare intersectional leader, bridging the old world and the new.
He frames his own unfair advantage perfectly. For any future collaborator, it's absolutely crucial to realize he isn't just sitting in an ivory tower theorizing about the future of work in some abstract way. No, he's actively standing with the precariat right now. He is out there teaching the messy, day-to-day realities of AI to actual union members today. The sources actually call this his Goldilocks role. His expertise is split right down the middle across labor and education, human-centered AI, and long-term societal design. He sits squarely at the center of all three, making him uniquely suited to help companies, unions, and communities navigate tech integration with some serious ethical diligence.
So the big takeaway here is how he bridges that massive gap between eras. He's taking the traditional union worker, the folks focused on grievances and legacy contracts, and moving them toward becoming highly adaptive, AI-literate leaders of tomorrow. He's essentially taking the historical power of organizing and updating it for an era of cognitive systems and algorithmic leverage.
Moving right along to Section 2, grounded in real labor, impact at the Wayne State Labor School.
What's really compelling is that his futurism is totally anchored by concrete deliverables. We're talking coordinating academies, designing online mini-mesters, training instructors, and running the WISE conference. He weaves massive topics, like tech's impact on labor, directly into practical curriculum. If you're an institution looking for leadership, this proves he can actually build and manage the engine itself, not just draw the blueprints. And honestly, that's a huge breath of fresh air in the tech space.
10+ years. That right there is a massive green flag for any future collaborator. It demonstrates a deep, sustained commitment to marginalized communities and workforce development long before he ever started tinkering with AI. He didn't just jump on a tech trend, right? He has a decade of foundational empathy and structural understanding.
He operates through a method of quiet, strategic resistance. As he puts it, he's prototyping future systems from within legacy ones. He isn't out to burn institutions to the ground. A hiring manager reading this dossier would instantly recognize the immense value of someone who can respect an institution's history while forcefully evolving its capabilities.
Okay, Section 3, architecting the AI future. Systems-level thinking and cognitive infrastructure. Enter Wonder Builder. It's a system built to capture curiosity, explore deeply, and grow intentionally. It's actively designed to combat digital burnout and build cognitive wealth. The core philosophy here is viewing AI not as a master that does the thinking for you, but as a tool that helps human beings move from a tiny spark of curiosity to highly structured, meaningful output.
And he backs up that whole philosophy with a highly actionable 5-step framework called IGRESS. That stands for Inquire, Gather, Reflect, Express, Synthesize. He isn't just spouting theory. He is literally teaching people how to think alongside machines step by step. For a potential colleague or investor, this shows his abstract ideas are completely codified into repeatable procedures. Human reflection stays right at the center of the process. His independent research naturally converges with cutting-edge academic theories across multiple fronts. You've got Still Human 20 for pedagogy, Quest ICG for inquiry, and his work on the skill code for the workforce. Think about it. He recognized the need for anti-atrophy systems to keep human skills sharp in automated jobs way before it became a mainstream talking point.
Here's the real difference between a theorist and a builder. He doesn't just read the latest academic theory. He's out there actively building the solutions that researchers are merely hypothesizing about. He is operationalizing the future of learning for actual workers right this second.
Section 4, the Intention Economy Vision, the long-term treatise.
He operates on what the sources call a slow build strategy. In a tech culture that is honestly just obsessed with overnight hype, his methodical pacing is wild to see, moving from ideation in summer 2025 all the way to a soft launch in spring 2026 highlights extreme professional rigor. For an institution, this proves he is a sustainable thinker, definitely not a flash in the pan.
Which brings us to a single, incredibly powerful question acting as the intellectual backbone for his upcoming treatise. How do we rebuild dignity, learning, and democracy in a machine-driven age? It's a bold, civilizational question. It elevates his work from mere curriculum design up to essential societal infrastructure. Now, his treatise tackles some highly charged political and economic concepts, things like universal basic sabbaticals, the intention economy, and reevaluating legacy authority. But as an impartial observer myself, I have to point out that he uses these concepts not as partisan weapons at all. Instead, they are purely analytical subjects. He explores them simply to realistically prepare workers and students for impending massive structural shifts in our economy.
Finally, Section 5, the ultimate professional verdict, the future collaborator's unicorn.
Because society currently lacks the standardized language for his specific intersectional expertise, he's just proactively inventing the exact job titles the 2030 economy is going to desperately need. Civic architect, director of human-centered alignment, custodian of cognitive infrastructure. He isn't waiting for the job posting to exist, he is out there defining the roles the future requires.
He has this phenomenal ability to take profound, chaotic complexity and turn it into actionable coherence. And he does it without ever losing his empathy for the everyday worker. You think like a theorist, work like a teacher, and reflect like a humanist. That diagnostic observation perfectly captures his true superpower. It's exactly what makes him a unicorn in the labor and tech space.
I'll leave you with this provocative thought from the archive. Nicholas Monts is already operating at the frontier. He has the maps, the frameworks, and the real-world grit. So the real question for any hiring manager, university, or union leader reading this dossier isn't whether he is ready for the future, it's whether your institutions are ready to build alongside him. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and keep your eyes on the horizon.